Hello everyone, happy Monday. Today is actually April 8th, which was the solar eclipse Monday. So you've got to let me know, did you watch the solar eclipse? What did you think of it? Where were you in the world watching the solar eclipse? I am in Florida, so we got a partial, but I managed to get my hands on solar eclipse glasses and it was so cool watching it, even though it was a partial. It still covered a lot of the sun, so it was really, really fun. And I also watched the live. I was watching it live, so I watched it go over Mexico and I think Texas. And after that, I believe was like Illinois or Arkansas or something. I can't remember, it was the third one I watched, but I did watch all that and it was really cool. But anyways, we are going to be starting out this reading vlog today, Monday, April 8th, and I'll be filming every day this week, just keeping up with my reading, and I'm going to show you guys what books I hopefully plan on finishing this week. It is the Shepherd's King duology, One Dark Window, and Two Twisted Crowns. I'm really hoping to get through both of these this week. They are relatively thick, so a little bit of a heavy feat as I do work full time and I go to the gym, but I think we can do it. I had a really good reading month last month, so I really think that I can push through and I can read these. But so far, for One Dark Window, just yesterday I got 39 pages in, and it has been a lot of world building and background information. So it's a little info dumpy at the beginning, but I feel like the further we go in, all of that info dump is going to be really helpful because it's a lot about the magic system, where the magic came from, and how it's affecting their kingdom and their world right now. So I think it's a lot at the beginning, but it's going to be really useful later on, I'm sure. But so far, we've got Elspeth Spindle. Yeah, Elspeth Spindle. She's our main character, by the way, sorry. But there is a mist surrounding their kingdom, and she's kind of a nobody right now. She's not like important in terms of the monarchy or anything, but there's a mist that's surrounding the kingdom, and that mist makes people sick, gives them a fever. The fever creates this black ink or black blood that flows through people's veins when they're using magic granted to them by the fever that they get. And the monarchy doesn't like that. They're like, yeah, no, we're gonna get rid of all these people that are getting sick and that have blood running or magic running through their veins. We're gonna get rid of them because we can't have unchecked magic. The only magic that's allowed in the kingdom are through these providence cards. They're these magic cards that if touched by someone that can wield magic, hence these sick people, they are granted the powers of that card. So our girl Elspeth here, she got sick when she was much younger. She managed to keep it hidden by living with other relatives instead of her immediate family. And she is granted magic that eventually, when she comes in contact with a providence called the Nightmare, she inherits this creature that dwells in her mind, and she's able to talk to it, but it's also able to take control of her when she allows it to. So it's not something that's just kind of running rampant. She's able to be like, hey, I need help in this situation, help me. And it like grants her speed, grants her extra strength, and like all of these things. So it's very, very cool. Extra fighting, I think that was like one thing that like helped her fight out of a situation. But so far, that is as far as I've gotten. We've got the Providence cards. We've got the Nightmare that's living inside of Elspeth here. But we do have a name, and I don't remember what it is, but there's a name for a young man that seems to be a childhood friend to lover, possibly. I don't remember his name, but when I get it, I will let you know. So yeah, that seems to be coming into play, but he hasn't been introduced yet. He's just been talked about. No introduction of our childhood friend to lover yet. But I do know that there is subplot of romance in this one, just based on reviews and things that I've heard about. But yeah, I'm really, really excited about this. I do know that beyond what I've read, the story is about Elspeth here trying to get rid of the nightmare, which means she has to go and find the rest of the Providence cards, these magic cards. And when she has all of them, she will be able to dispel the magic from the entire kingdom. And that's the journey that she'll be going on. But as of right now, she doesn't know any of those things. She just knows, I have the magic from the nightmare and I'm gonna be living like this for the rest of my life. That's all she knows. And for her, it's just easier to not have love or not have friendships or relationships because, I mean, she's got this creature living in her mind. So there are also negatives to using the magic. So far for her, there haven't been any negatives. So I don't know if there's something special about Elspeth here, if there's something special about the nightmare, but other people that use their magic the way that they got it through the fever, they end up like going mad, or I don't know, like bad things happen to them. So Elspeth is like, you know, if I keep using the magic and I keep having the nightmare in my head, I'm going to eventually fall apart or die or something. So why have friendships? Why have relationships? Whatever. So that's kind of where we're at in the story right now. Again, slow start, very info dumpy. But yeah, let's get into the rest of our time. I'm ready to read. Let's do this. We're burning daylight. All right, it is Tuesday. It's about 4 o'clock. My dog is barking at all the people that are walking by. I apologize, but it's about 4 o'clock and I have a bunch of stuff that I'm going to try and get done today. So I'm going to try and take you along with me for all of that. But since it's a reading vlog, I want to go ahead and update you guys on the reading that I did yesterday for One Dark Window. So when we started the reading vlog, I was about 39 pages in, and as of yesterday, I got to chapter 14, which is 149 pages. So I managed to read a little over 100 pages. This is not my favorite book. This is not my favorite book by any means. I am not loving it, but I like it. It's interesting enough that I'm continuing to read, but I'm not feeling super drawn to it. I don't feel like I have to finish this book. It's just enough that I'm getting through it. I can tell you reading just 100 pages in a day is pretty light for what I would normally do. So I'm very clearly not loving this book. But if it starts to pick up from here on out, which it hopefully will, I could give this book probably like 4 stars. That would be like the maximum I could give this book, because I'm 150 pages in and still not loving it. So I feel like 4 stars is as far as I would get with this book. But that being said, it's just kind of interesting, but not super interesting. Up to this point, we're just learning a lot of things about the magic, learning a lot of things about the people in here. So it's very info dumpy, not super interesting. Nothing like, no, there's no action. There is no action. There's no adventure. There has been nothing up until this point except getting to know, 1, our main character, 2, some of the other characters involved with this journey that she's about to go on. And 3, the nightmare that's in her mind, as well as the providence cards and the magic and how they fit into this world, where they came from, etc. So we're saying a lot of that, that's unfortunate, because I know this book was a lot of people's like favorite books, or they just spoke very highly of it. But I think also a lot of people's favorite book was actually the Two Twisted Crowns, which is after this one. It's the second book in the duology. So maybe once I get to that one, it'll just, I don't know. But hopefully this one gets more interesting. I'm not saying it's not going to. It's just nothing has happened so far. Literally nothing. Also, I thought that there was going to be a childhood friends to lovers trope in this, and I mentioned it previously, but the guy that was mentioned at the beginning of the book, that is her childhood friend that I thought would become her lover, absolutely not. He gives our girl Elspeth the ick, and I don't know why, because he seems sweet and perfectly fine, but she is not here for it. She does not like him for anything in the world. So there is a different love interest involved, a little grumpy magical boy that just seems to have her whole heart and her whole interest. So that's our love interest, not the childhood friends to lovers. So that is not a trope that is involved. However, I can already tell there is possibly a fake dating trope, because it seems as though they're going to be using that to cover up their journey. So there's going to be a fake dating trope, possibly some forced proximity, because they're going on a journey together. Makes sense, right? Yeah, so that's what's going on so far. Nothing, but something should be happening soon. Here's hoping. Either way, we're going to go ahead and start getting ready, or I'm going to start getting ready, so that I can get all the things done that I want to do today, laundry, and head to the gym. All before we start reading. Let's go. Okay, you're gonna see the lights kind of just change every now and then, because I currently have the screensaver on my TV. So as the scenario changes or the scenery changes, it's going to kind of flicker in and out with the lights. But I don't really feel like putting my ring light on. The mood in my room is just so calming. I really don't feel like messing that up with a bright ring light. So we're going to start reading now. It's a little after 8 o'clock. I did my laundry. There it goes. Did my laundry, went to the gym, came home, ate dinner, took a shower, as you can see, and I'm in my fuzzy sweater. Okay, once I put this fuzzy sweater on, it is lay down time. It's time to read. It's time to relax. I even matched it with a fuzzy clip. I'm obsessed. I am actually obsessed. But I'm about to throw on the same one that, okay, I play these videos, which I played earlier in the video, but I love to go onto YouTube, which I'm about to do right now, so you'll see kind of the lights changing. But I love to go onto YouTube and get the Animal Crossing, that was an ad, Animal Crossing videos where they just put like ambiance music in the background, or like lo-fi chill music, sometimes jazz music, and it just has a scene from Animal Crossing and it just plays for like an hour. I love it. I think it's amazing. It is my favorite background video and like background music to play while I'm reading, to just chill out and just get me ready for bed, get me in a really calm, cozy mood. It's amazing. I'm already super tired. I don't know if you can tell from my eyes, but I feel like they're very, very heavy. However, we're only 149 pages in, and it's Wednesday's tomorrow. Our week is halfway over, and I'm not even halfway through our first book. So we gotta get going. Let's go. Let's start reading. Happy hump day, y'all. I don't know about you, but this has been the longest week of my life. The longest week. And today has been the longest day of my life. But regardless, it's not over yet. It's a little after 4 p.m. I have a prior engagement at 5 o'clock, so I'm gonna get ready to leave the house very soon. That will last until about 6 p.m. And then from there, I'm gonna eat dinner, take a shower, and I probably won't start reading until about 7 p.m. So another 3-ish hours before I actually start reading, but we made some amazing progress last night. I am so proud of myself. I can't remember where we left off. It was like 100 something, but I got all the way to 240. And mind you, I could have definitely kept reading, but I've been really enjoying getting as close to 8 hours of sleep as possible. It feels like, I don't know, the most sustainable for me. I mean, imagine the shock and awe of getting 8 hours of sleep actually feels good. That's crazy. But that is why I try to go to bed around 10 p.m. And so if I would have read any further, I would have been just extra tired in the morning, and I just genuinely don't want to be. So I made sure that a little after 10 o'clock, as soon as I finished that last chapter, I went to bed the way I need to, okay? Don't blame me. But we got to page 240, which means I have like 156 pages, I think, left to finish Dark Window. I don't love this book at all. Just kind of like it. There's not a lot actually going on, like a little bit of action and adventure happened towards the end of that like reading experience that I had. That was kind of fun, a little adventure that they went on, but otherwise the romance isn't romancing, the action isn't actioning, and the adventure's not adventuring. So not much is happening. You can see I've only tabbed in 240 pages 4 times. One of them is the love interest, because he did say something that was like, kind of like that. But the other 3 were the nightmare. He's literally the comedic relief in this book, and the best thing about this book. Okay, he's my favorite character because no one else is giving. They're not giving at all. Only the nightmare is giving. But that being said, I genuinely want to finish this today. So that is going to be the goal. From when I get, settled in at 7 o'clock and reading until 10 o'clock, that's 3 hours of reading. I think I can knock out those 150 pages pretty smoothly. And if I get started early, or if I get finished early, I'm going to go ahead and just go right into Two Twisted Crowns. But if not, then we're starting Two Twisted Crowns tomorrow. Here's hoping I'll be done by Friday. I highly, highly doubt it, because she's a little bit thicker than One Dark Window. 430 pages, but I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully this one's a lot more interesting than that one is. Everyone, I think, was talking more about this one being one of their favorite books of last year or 2023, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm really, really hoping, because honestly, at this rate, if I didn't already own Two Twisted Crowns and I got through One Dark Window, I probably wouldn't buy Two Twisted Crowns and continue reading this duology. Or maybe I would have forced myself to read it just for the sake of saying that I finished the duology, but either way, it's just not really giving. And I'm kind of disappointed about that, because I feel like the hype was there. But who was hyping it and for what? Because there's nothing interesting here. I mean, at most, honestly, the Providence cards themselves are such an interesting concept. I love the idea of them. I like what they do. I like the curses and the gifts both involved with them. I think it's very well thought out. There was one section where it talks about what the King Shepherd gave up in order to have those cards, and I thought that was so well done. So that was interesting. The cards themselves and the magic themselves. Elspeth as a character is not interesting, but what she has going on is very interesting. And that's to say for a lot of the characters too. The main male interest, Raven, he's giving nothing, but his magic power is very interesting. So there's like some cool elements, but then there's a lot of not. So that's unfortunate, but we're going to continue reading anyways. And I'll let you know my rating tonight when we get through that. But for now, I have prior engagements, so I'm going to go get those done and come back to you.